Everyone loves a Hallmark Christmas movie.
Really?
Well, maybe not everyone, but I do. So I was excited in 2017 when Netflix came out with this. This is A Christmas Prince. I'm Jay Harangue and I've wasted hours of my life watching terrible films.
You should subscribe.
This is Amber and she's the main character.
Hi.
She's a junior editor at Now Beats magazine in New York City, but she dreams of one day becoming a real journalist. And her boss wants to see her in her office.
Ooh.
What do you know about the royal family of Aldovia?
Ah, Aldovia. Let's just get this out the way. For Americans watching, Aldovia is not a real country. But for the purposes of this film, it's a small country in Europe where everyone speaks English. Anyway, Amber's like, isn't the Prince of Aldovia an absolute bellend?
International playboy and scandalous socialite.
I wonder what's going to happen at the end. Anyway, the prince has disappeared, and because his dad's dead, he needs to get sworn in as the new king by Christmas Day. I'm probably missing out some key details about Aldovian royal protocol, but essentially, that's what's happening. Anyway, Amber's boss needs her to go to Aldovia to investigate.
Aldovia?
Yes.
So she goes to tell her dad, Rudy, that she's not going to be around for Christmas.
I mean, your mom opened this place.
Boring.
You go over there to
Aldovia.
and you make us proud.
Right, so she's going. Seconds later, she arrives at Aldovia International Airport. And oh no, someone's stolen her taxi.
I apologize.
Selfish jerk!
I wonder who that was. Anyway, she manages to get a lift in a minibus full of other journalists to the Royal Palace, where the press conference is delayed.
Oh, come on, what's taking so long?
Yeah.
Prince Richard is unavailable at this time.
More like he's avoiding the press.
Yeah. So that's not gone to plan. But Amber can't go home without a story, so she just lets herself into the palace and starts taking photos.
May I help you?
Uh-oh.
You must be the new American tutor for Princess Emily.
Amber's like, yes, that's right, I am. So she's taken to meet the Queen. Oh, look, it's that guy from the taxi.
You?
Yes?
Selfish jerk at your service.
May I present Miss Martha Anderson, Princess Emily's new tutor?
And here comes Princess Emily. Oh, look, she's disabled.
Poor thing.
Who are you and what are you doing in my palace?
I am Martha Anderson.
You'll be starting your lessons right away, Emily.
Oh yeah, Princess Emily has terrorized all her previous tutors because she doesn't want one. And Amber makes a bad first impression when she smashes a 15th century vase.
Oops.
That night she calls her boss and her boss is like, wow, Amber, you're killing this. Get loads of photos and videos. And Amber's like, yeah, okay. In the morning, it's time for Princess Emily's first lesson.
Good morning, Princess Emily.
Go away.
Okay, that's not a great start. If you're wondering why Princess Emily alternates between crutches and a wheelchair,
It's called spinal bifida, and there is no cure.
Amber's like, oh, right, sorry about that. So now they're best friends. Oh, look, Prince Richard's out in the garden doing some archery.
How does some fresh air sound, Your Royal Highness?
Good. Good.
So down they go.
Are you all right?
That's right, now that Prince Richard has shaved his beard off, Amber's madly in love with him.
Oh, I see.
Then we get one of those scenes where a man shows a woman how to do something that involves contact between his cock and her ass. But oh no! Bloody ghastly American. That night, the royal family will be serving cocktails to esteemed members of the nobility, and Princess Emily wants Amber to be her guest.
I would be delighted.
At the party, Amber overhears the Prime Minister asking the Queen if Prince Richard is going to take the throne, and the Queen's like, yeah. Then we meet Prince Richard's cousin Simon.
You shall address me as Lord Duxbury.
Oh, fuck off, Simon. Emily explains to Amber that if Prince Richard doesn't take the throne, Simon gets it. And nobody wants that, because Simon's a smarmy prick. Later, Amber's telling her friends at home that she's struggling to find any dirt on the royal family. And they're like, yeah, whatever, Amber. You're only saying that because you're in love with the prince.
No, I'm not.
Bullshit.
The next morning, she comes downstairs to find Richard playing the first Noel on the piano. Then they start talking about Princess Emily.
After my father passed away, she took it very hard.
I lost my mom.
All right, love, it's not a competition. Later, everyone's having drinks by the Christmas tree. Simon finds some handmade decorations and he's like, oh God, look at these ghastly monstrosities. But the Queen's like, fuck off, Simon. My husband liked handmade decorations. Then she pulls out this one shaped like an acorn.
Where was it, Mother?
Oh, your father had put it in a secret hiding place.
It's beautiful.
Is it?
No.
Then in walks Richard's ex, Princess Sophia. Simon goes into the kiss, but she's not having any of it.
God, that's gotta hurt.
Apparently so, yes. It appears that Princess Sophia is more interested in Richard, but Richard has started to develop feelings for Amber.
What?
I know. Who'd have guessed? The next morning, Princess Emily comes into Amber's room and she's like, right, I know who you are, Amber. Amber's like, how did you know?
I looked at your computer yesterday while you were in the loo.
Amber's like, don't tell anyone else. And Emily's like, I'll keep your secret if you write an article on how nice my brother is.
Deal.
Cut to Richard, who's playing Silent Night on the piano. Sophia comes in and she's like, Richard, let's get back together. And he's like, no, thanks. Cut to the Aldovia Holiday Festival, where they raise money for orphans. By the way, it seems that the country of Aldovia is essentially one small village with a population of a few hundred. Imagine the crippling tax burden on these people, having to support an extensive royal family and maintain a palace like this. Anyway, Prince Richard is for some reason obsessed with the orphanage, and while he's supposed to be making a speech, he's snuck off to have a snowball fight with some of the orphans. Just so we're clear, I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that there's anything sinister going on.
Okay.
Later, the Queen's like, Richard, I think it's best that from now on you don't go to visit the orphans unsupervised.
I'm trying, Mother. I really am.
The next day, Amber thinks it might be fun to take a crippled child sledding.
That could backfire.
And here they go. Oh, this is fun, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, no, they've fallen off. I hope Emily's okay.
Again? You little...
Shit!
Then Prince Richard arrives and they have a snowball fight, yeah. Then they fall over and oh, look, they almost kiss, but the kid ruins it. So that's going to have to wait. Simon and Sophia then ride past in their carriage or whatever this is and see them having fun. Simon's like, those two are definitely bloody shagging. And Sophia's like, there's something not right about that ghastly American. The next day, Amber's decided she needs to find out if Richard's going to take the throne or not. In fact, we know exactly what she's thinking because she's made some notes for us to read. So let's do that. Now, bear in mind, this person is a professional journalist on an international assignment. Bullet point 1. The prince is still reluctant. Why? Is it more than just nerves? Have to find out. That's a separate bullet point, by the way. Fear, insecurity, reclusiveness, warmth, family, independence, values over ambition. This is shit. The prince is definitely starting to trust me, but can't seem like I'm prying. I think I'm finally getting to know the real prince. So not what I thought. I assume that's supposed to be capital S-O, and it's supposed to read, I think I'm finally getting to know the real prince. So not what I thought. But anyway, next bullet point, the coronation's... The coronation's almost here, but I still don't know the real story. I have to dig deeper. Have to figure out what's going on in his head. ... So the next morning, Amber decides to follow him on his morning horse ride. How? Well, apparently she can ride a horse too. But oh no, her horse fucks off and now she's lost in the woods alone. And oh no.
John, get away!
Yeah. So he rescues her and takes her to his hunting cabin.
Why were you following me?
I was curious.
Right.
Yeah, apparently that's a good enough answer because the conversation quickly turns to why Richard doesn't want to be the new king.
I can't even go for a beer with a girl without it being treated like an international scandal.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, then he shows her this poem that he found that his dad wrote.
It's some sort of riddle.
It's mysterious.
Okay.
When Richard goes off to check on his horse, Amber finds a secret file in his dad's desk. It turns out that Prince Richard is adopted.
Oh, my goodness.
Amber's colleagues are like, hurry up and break the story, but she's like, no, I can't.
This is going to make your career, Amber.
But Amber's in love with the prince, so she won't do it. Maybe call Dad for some advice.
I don't know anything about your job.
Cheers, Dad. Then Richard comes and asks her to go for a walk, so that's happening. He's like, I hope you're coming to the Christmas Eve ball tomorrow night.
There's something that I need to tell you.
At last.
Meanwhile, upstairs, Simon and Sophia have broken into Amber's room, found out who she really is, and found the adoption certificate.
Oh no!
The next morning, Princess Emily has arranged a makeover for Amber so she can look her best for the Christmas Eve ball. And here we are. Oh yeah, by the way, Richard's decided that he does want to be king.
Oh.
Back to the ball. That song doesn't actually play, but it feels like it should.
She cleans up nicely.
For a bloody peasant. Anyway, now it's time for Richard and Amber to dance. Yeah. 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 They're just about to kiss, but they can't because Richard needs to become the king.
I dispute this claim.
On what grounds?
Sophia's like, because he's adopted. The Prime Minister's like, how did you find this out? And she's like, oh, the princess's tutor is an undercover journalist. I found it in her room. And Amber's like, oh, shit. The Queen confirms that Richard's adopted. So he runs away and cries, leaving Simon to take his place. Amber runs after Richard, but he's like, you can fuck off. So she does. Back to New York. But Richard has decided to try to be king anyway, because he doesn't want it to be Simon, especially not now he's married to Sophia. So there's a big debate in what I assume is the Aldovian Parliament. The Queen tells the Prime Minister that her dead husband wanted Richard to be king, but Simon's like, so what? He's a bloody orphan. But what's this? Amber is back. She's remembered about the poem and the acorn, so opens it. Ooh, wonder what this is. Meanwhile in Parliament, Simon's just about to be made king.
Stop!
Come time.
Amber's like, look, it's a signed letter from the dead king saying he wants Richard to be next in line, even though he's adopted. So Richard's coronated and everyone's really happy, yeah. At an unspecified time later, Amber is back at Now Beat magazine getting a bollocking for blowing her big story. So she quits to write a blog about the new King Richard and helps out at her dad's diner. But what's this? King Richard has shown up outside.
What are you doing here?
I never had the chance to say goodbye.
And what's this? He wants her to marry him and be the new Queen of Aldovia. So she says yes, and that's the end of the film. So until next time. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. And please consider joining my Patreon. There's a link in the description. Thank you.